$100 to read lines written by someone who makes a few $100, sleeping with a lot of women. It's tough. I mean, I know I'm fortunate, and I'm also humble. I really am. It's complicated. It's difficult to wrap your brain around. It's kind of like one of those Chinese symbols. But, you know, some days I get hand release while doing Tai Chi on the beach, and the next day I wear glasses and talk about suffering. I'm not gay, by the way.
Why don't we just take a call then?
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon. Hey, I'm a big fan of your work, man. How you pretend to be other people and then spend all the rest of your time doing ordinary folk out with? It really inspires me. I'm a pathological liar.
Yeah. Whenever there's a natural disaster or anything, I try to show up and help make a point with photo ops how the government is really letting people down. You know, I have more money and a bigger soul, and my goal in life is to prove it to everyone. You know, do some opera, drink some pomegranate juice. People don't have enough antioxidants. I worry about the prison industrial complex. Worry about the military industrial complex. The industrial complex. The inferiority complex. Obesity, fair trade, gourmet coffee, China. There are a lot of things being an actor has made me an expert on. I understand pain. I understand people's pain. I am pain.
Wow, you are wound up, Brandon. Are you high?
Oh, you bet I am. And you bet I am. I am high on life. And my deity just keeps running out of money and needs a hefty part of my income. Can you get me on the internet? Get me on the internet. Because people really need to feel my love. I've got a blog. Okay, I've got to write this down. I'm not part of a cult or anything, okay? This is a real religion. Just like all the other ones. Just like all that. So don't be so prejudiced. Hey, kiflop, right?
Right, okay, well, let's take another call from Brandon Roberts.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon. I really like doing all those situation comedies, like when you go back to elementary school as an adult and sleep with your mother by mistake. It's funny as shit. But I have to say, I'm tired of all this green shit. These environmentalists haven't done us any favors. It's why all our food comes from China now. China's gonna take us over.
Exactly. See, that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. It's what they don't want you to know. That's why I drive a hybrid SUV to the organic market across town to buy imported organic Norwegian mushrooms that have been flown in, burning tons of pollutants, killing the pollutants so they can't pollute anymore. See, that's what makes me an environmentalist. I understand the science. I know how it works. I got taught it in drama school. See, I only drink bottled water that's shipped from Samoa instead of pumped from a well across town because everything here, it's just so dirty. It's a lot like my new film. There's a chase scene on the Los Santos freeway and a huge monkey, some dinosaurs who are trapped in amber. It's very original. It's a nice, quiet character piece.
Wow, that sounds great, Brandon. Now, let's take a quick break. We're going to be back with more Brandon Roberts and gubernatorial candidate John Hunter.
PLR reminds you, consumer-driven culture is killing our democracy. Buy yourself a hybrid, a solar panel, and a composting toilet, and set yourself free. This is PLR, Public Liberty Radio.
We return to the Intelligent Agenda.
Okay, we're back on the Intelligent Agenda with me, Mike Riley. Let's bring out our next guest. Brandon, can you hang out for a while?
You got it,
All right,
man.
scooch on over the couch there. All right, next up, he's an actor as well, but has gotten into politics by running for governor of our state. You may have seen the TV commercials for John Hunter where he accuses Michael Graves of all kinds of nasty things. Well, here he is, John Hunter. Wow, you look great, John. How's the campaign going?
Mike, it's just fantastic. We're making a difference by giving the networks millions of dollars to run campaign ads. It's democracy at a grassroots level. Fundraising is going really well. I haven't sold myself out at all. I've learned a lot being an actor, you know, on the set during years of bit parts. I want to bring the reality of TV dramas from the lots of Vinewood to our state.
Wow, look at that. The phones are exploding. Line 3, Sarah.
Hi, Mike. I'm a huge fan and a committed swinger. Maybe you'd like to come to one of our parties. Hi, Brandon. I love that art house film you made when you painted a picture with your junk. John, I'm a concerned parent. How are you going to help me make the world safer for my kids?
Well, Sarah, if you vote for me, things will change.
That's a relief.
There's a lot that I'm doing to help parents. I mean, now you take the internet. What happens when kids can post on the internet on their own pages.
Oh, like myroommonline.net.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I come from a different generation, when it was okay to carpet bomb first and ask questions later. But people have to understand that the internet is a series of tubes, and strange men want to put their privates in the other side of that tube and right into your child's bedroom. As a conservative liberal, I feel it's my duty to try it. Buy a financial stake in it, and then regulate it. It's a win-win. And the best bit is, we can all feel guilty together.
Wow, let's go back to the phones then. Steve, you're on Intelligent Agenda.
Hi, Mr. Hunter. I really enjoy your campaign commercials. It's the best part of election season. The 18 months of attack ads where you have no clue what's going on, and you learn to hate everyone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I was hoping you could do something about these air shows. Why do planes have to fly so close together over a crowd of people? Oh boy, there's a jet farting smoke. Big deal! It's polluting the atmosphere. People are actually shocked when these planes crash. Gee, you're doing Mach 2 with your wings an inch apart. Air shows suck ass.
Now, safety is one of the main parts of my campaign. We've had enough of these dividers. We want the whole enchilada to come together as a nation because we all like Mexican food. Now, let's stop big government running things for the little guy. I want to make sure everyone has access to opportunities they can afford. It's the American way. It's all in my best-selling campaign book.
Next caller, you're on with John Hunter.
And Brandon Roberts.
Oh, yeah, of course, Brandon Roberts. Hello, Jay.
Yeah, Mr. Hunter, I have a question. What happens when dogs and cats can drive?
Now, that's one of the things we need to focus on in this country. Education. And if I'm elected governor, at least one state will have its priorities straight. Unfortunately, our schools focus on academics, while schools in the South focus on nothing but football and procreating. We need to change the budgets to break the teachers' unions and buy uniforms, balls, and then the books if we can afford them. I learned a lot playing the part of a maverick coach in a TV movie about football.
Maybe what we need is a good old-fashioned peasant mob.
Exactly. Freedom within reasons. Responsible government taking away choices people don't need. Right now, what we have is a war on science. The FDA is denying access to a new drug that causes superfertility. Can you imagine the beauty and joy of God's gift as your home will become a whelping box and your zygotes mutate and quadruple? Mother Nature may have told you not to have children, but Mother Nature can be overruled, just like the current administration.
All righty, next caller. Hi there, Linda.
Yes, hi. I'm a first-time caller and a committed liberal. I say fuck the conservatives. They're all square, and we should burn them. Mr. Hunter, I hope you win this election and do something about the healthcare industry. Like these ultrasounds. They send radio waves to my brain as a child. That's why I killed my mom.
You see, the healthcare industry is failing millions of Americans. We've overregulated the insurance companies so they can't turn a healthy profit. The net result is that millions of hardworking Americans who invested in these companies are losing money. It's a national disgrace.
Next caller.
Yeah, I'm sick of these illegal immigrants. America should be for people like me. We invented freedom.
Now, immigration reform is very important. As I say in my campaign blog, it is not hate. It's patriotism bottled up. It's important that our children see us taking xenophobia seriously. Otherwise, who are they going to learn from?
Speaking of kids, we should take a quick break and get our next guest out here. Get this, he's 11, and he's a super genius. Back after this.
Public Liberty Radio. Free radio. Free of interesting content. Just blather. Boring burnout, blathering between shows. This is PLR. Let's get back to Intelligent Agenda.
And now, back to the Intelligent Agenda.
Okay, we're back on Intelligent Agenda. I'm Mike Riley. I'm sure you've heard about our next guest on the news. He's 11, and he's a genius. He's Zachary Tyler, National Spelling Bee champion a couple of years back, also a grandmaster at chess. He's written the great American novel, and now he's about to solve hunger. Great to have you on the show.
Greetings.
Now, Zachary, you are a great example of liberal parenting. Your parents raised you in a commune.
Yes, it was very disappointing. My parents were weak and feeble people. I don't miss them. I put myself up for adoption after they got divorced.
I'm a real character piece.
Okay, Zach, you've been educated in a public school.
Well, sort of. I learned to despise the common herd in a public school. So then I learned about the world by being homeschooled by a friendly teacher.
I think it's important we give everyone access to homeschooling.
I don't know about that. I think community is very important.
Yeah, I agree. I was really popular at school. It was great training for life, because I'm real popular now.
Okay, now, Zach, tell us about the plan to end hunger.
Well, it's quite simple, really. Almost facile. I looked at hunger as a supply and demand problem. Too many hungry people. Simple. Rather than reducing the number of hungry people, simply reduce the number of people using involuntary euthanasia for the weak and unfortunate and turn them into compost for our crops. Simple.
You want to kill people to reduce hunger?
Absolutely. It's brilliant.
It's barbaric.
I blame video games. They're teaching our kids to solve hunger by slaughtering the weak. We should only slaughter the weak to win wars and sell guns to unjust governments we keep in power.
I despise the government.
The government's like the paparazzi, you know? They follow you around, and then when you mess up, they are on you, man. They are on you with a zoom lens. But my blog talks all about it. You can go to Brandon...
Okay. Where's the consensus here?
I think we've all reached a consensus, Mike. The group seems to be agreeing that, well, under my plan, you'd be one of the first people we eliminated.
Shut up, you tiny little freak! A nasty little right-wing bully. I bet you've never even gotten laid.
Oh, I have lots of times. Yeah, mostly by girls. Sometimes with underage chicks. But
You're
there's no
sick,
pictures.
young man.
You're sick. Stop looking at me strangely.
I'm tempted to beat a lesson into you, young man.
I imagine you are, you catamite.
Come here. I'm going to give you the spanking of your life, you little dork. You're going to learn some respect.
No, please.
How dare you?
No.
Stop wiggling around so much.
You're a pedo. Ow. What's going on? Your movies suck. No.
You're not even old enough to see them. How do you know they suck? Hey, Mike, how's my six-pack look? Hey, can we talk about global warming and my t-shirts? Make them idea.
I think we're done. I think that's all we have time for on Intelligent Agenda.
Ow.
Until next time, stay liberal.
Kiflam, man, Kiflam.
Shut up.
And now, the show that allows everyone to vent their spleen. It's Pacemaker, the program that puts the heart back into the health industry. Here's your host, Ryan McFallon.
It's David and Goliath, but we're all David when it comes to fighting the healthcare industry. And this time, it's not a rock, it's our nuts in a sling. For thousands of years, people have treated themselves when they got sick. The wisdom was handed down from family to family, mother to daughter, father to son, and sometimes while inebriated, father to daughter. But nobody talked about it. Now we have HMOs, co-pays, 1,000 forms to fill out, gastric bypasses, doctors that charge $30,000 to pry open your love cave with a speculum. Today on the show, from Beta Pharmaceuticals, Public Relations Director Sheila Stafford.
Hi, Ryan. Great to be here. I brought you samples of some breakthrough new drugs. You look like you really need them.
Okay, thanks. And representing the largest HMO in the nation, Copay Health System CEO Wilson Taylor Sr.
Ryan, it's a pleasure to be here to talk about taking the healthcare industry from a patient-centric and business-centric aggregated bell curve forward to the health model we're looking at in the 22nd century.
All right. And finally, he's the founder of homeopathic center Down Home Medicine, author and self-healing guru, the Down Home Medicine man himself, Waylon Mason.
What?
Waylon, I'm just saying welcome to the show.
I didn't know.
Okay, let's start with you, Mason. What's wrong with the healthcare industry?
That's just it. You said it. It's an industry. $1 trillion. A trillion rotten deals and broken promises made to you, and dirty needles. For what? I teach people, stuff that only Indians and old people understand. Why are we sitting in a waiting room while some asshole, some limp ass nuts, plays golf and makes $1 million a year to scribble on little pieces of paper nobody can read? That's like they're writing secrets. It's a conspiracy. When we lived in the woods, my father taught me a lot about home medicine. After my mom died during childbirth, he let me burn the body. You can learn a lot from family.
Let's get into the 21st century here. We really need to move beyond this negativity and hostility towards the pharmaceutical industry. We are leading robust, end-to-end, sustainable solutions to healthcare challenges in a viable and yet 100% patient-centric, care-focused, and responsible manner. Life is full of very complex chemical challenges. Beta Pharmaceuticals is there every step of the way. Much more so than a bunch of hillbillies fighting progress and home cremating their mother.
Well, what kind
What do you? That's like being a corporate slut. You don't know you are where you are.
Well, really, life is a challenge. And if you could swallow a magic pill every day and not worry about that challenge, wouldn't you? We all would. Some of us are. Take, for instance, our best-selling symptomatic postural tension reliever, Cominex. Life is stressful. Up the dose. And with increased dosage, people will see an inverse reduction.
Don't affect me a bit, and sometimes I do, for cash or whatever.
That's the problem. Let's stop blaming the HMOs because you can't see a doctor. Don't blame profits or Nixon because you've got bad coverage. Bottom line, don't blame me because you're a loser. Not my fault, buddy. And the last thing we need on Earth is socialized medicine. Yeesh.